This is the 2019 Ordinary Level DCG question B3, and it's an orthographic projection question with an auxiliary elevation. The graphic on the right shows steps in a portion of a wall. Figure B3 shows an isometric view of a similar structure. Part A is to draw the elevation of the complete structure looking in the direction of the arrow. Part B is project a plan from the elevation, and Part C is to draw an auxiliary elevation of the structure projected from the plan, which will include the true shape of surface A. So we are asked for 3 views inside in this. We need an elevation, a plan, which is going to be directly below it, and we need an auxiliary elevation projected so that we see the true shape of surface A. In our plan, surface A is going to be something like this. It's going to be inclined at an angle 30 degrees, so we need to look in perpendicular to that. For this reason, we need space either up above it, top left, or down bottom right. So when we're positioning our question on our page, it's important to take that into account. I'm going to put the elevation up here, top right, plan, bottom right. My auxiliary elevation is going to go top left then. So with all of my questions that I do for orthographic, I like to set them up inside in boxes first, so that it's clear that everything is going to fit on my page. My elevation, the width of the elevation is going to be 80 millimeters plus 15, so 95 millimeters. So I'm going to create a box that's 95 millimeters wide, and it has a height of 60. Always worth looking in the question, is there a scale for this? There's a scale of 1:1, so I don't need to change any measurement. So height of 60. So my elevation is going to fit into this box. The plan is going to go down directly below it. I'm going to put just a gap of 20 millimeters between the two so that there's some distinction or some separation. So the width is still unchanged, and then the distance down here is going to be coming down 90 millimeters. So my elevation and plan will fit into these two boxes. The auxiliary view then will be projected off that, and we'll look at that later on. So I'm just going to zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to start with the plan for this question, as there's nothing that I need to work out too much inside in it. We're given most of our dimensions. I'm going to box off different parts of it. So for the left bit, the part of the wall, that's going to be coming down along here. So that's 15 millimeters wide. So I'm going to put that measurement in and mark the block for the wall coming down the left side of this drawing. After that, then we have a number of steps. The top one is out 25 millimeters. As we can see, it's in line with the flat piece of the wall. So this is 25 millimeters, and it's our step. Top step. Underneath that, the second step out is also 25. So drawing all this in lightly, and then the bottom step is back 15 millimeters from the front, which is here. Which also ends up being 25. So we've got flat piece of the wall, the sloping piece of the wall, top step, middle step, bottom step, and now we must just put a sloping edge onto the side of this. So our angle that this is going to be coming off of from here is 30 degrees. So it's 30 degrees measured to here. So on our set square, that would be equivalent to 60 degrees going the opposite direction. So our line is going to come down along here to the horizontal 60 degrees and end up with 30 degrees in here for this point. With that much done, that's our surface S. We can darken in the rest of our lines. And then this will complete the plan for us. So that's the plan complete, and in here is surface A. So next we're going to draw the elevation. So the elevation, much of what we have already can just be projected straight up into the new view. So the width of the wall, that's going to be unchanged. And then we'll mark up the height of each step. So the first step is up 15, given in the question. The second step is up another 15. And then we're told that the height of the back step is 45 millimeters. So I can mark that in also. So draw them in lightly first, as they are going to be cut by the sloping edge that we have. And we can darken those bits in afterwards. Now the wall slopes down at an angle, but it does not come all the way down to the ground. There is a vertical face on the front of the wall, and that is up the same height as the second step, so it's up a height of 30. Now what needs to be done is we need to locate the steps here. So as it's sloping, they're going to be coming up this way, going back up and working their way back in that way. We need to find each of those points. So this corner here is going to be on the bottom step. So I can project this point up until it intersects the bottom point, bottom step, and that gives me the front corner of the bottom step. Do the same thing for the second step. This is the change in height between the first step and the second step. So I can project that point up here, and that's also going to be located here. Final one then, off out here at the side. This is the change in height for the final step at that point over there. So I can darken in all our lines. And I'll just shade in surface A to make it a little bit clearer. So surface A is all this line down here, and it is this surface in the elevation. So what we'll be looking at next is drawing the auxiliary view to find the true shape of that surface. But in our auxiliary, it's the true shape of the structure, so it's the whole thing that we need to draw the true shape of. So that's surface A, and this is an edge view of surface A. So for the next part of this, we're going to look at drawing the auxiliary view. And the auxiliary view is projected. To find an auxiliary, you need to look in perpendicular to the edge, and the edge that we're operating off of is at 60 degrees to the horizontal. 30 degrees to here, 60 degrees to the horizontal. So what we can do instead is we're going to project our lines up this way. So these lines are perpendicular to the red line that I have down here. And then this line is going to be, let's remove part of the XY line. This line then is going to be perpendicular to it. This line is my X1, Y1 line, my new ground line. So can project each point up, and this step also. So at this point here, we've taken from this corner. So I'm working in this view. I'm going to move back through this view and take my measurement from this one. So from this point back to here, and I can take the height from this height here. This height is 15 millimeters, given in the question. For the next line, follow that back. That gives me this point. This height is also at 15, so the lower one. But the upper point of it is up at 30. So we can mark the upper height of this at the 30 mark up there. Finally, for this line comes down, touches off this corner. We can mark up that height on surface A. That's also up a height of 30 millimeters. So here I can draw in the true shape of surface A. So that's surface A. It's not the total part of the question that we need to figure out. That just gives us the true shape of surface A. we still need to find what the rest of the object looks like, the structure looks like, in this auxiliary elevation view. And to do that, we're going to do the same method that we've just used now. So taking each point in turn, projecting them up and finding their height in the elevation. So taking this point, that's going to come up along here. That's the front edge of our step. So it's at both the ground and it's up 15 millimeters. So this is up 15. I can extend that on to meet it. Let's look at doing the wall next. So the front part of this wall, project it up. So each point is taken up at our 30 degrees. Let's find the heights for this point. It's going to be on the ground. So that's here. But also this point looking down on top of it is going to be this bit of the wall sticking up here at the front, which is up a height of 30. So I can mark up that height of 30. This next point in here, this one that we brought up, that's the exact same. That's on the ground here, and it's also up a height of 30. So I'm going to finish off doing the wall. We have a few more bits, 1, 2, 3, and 4 more points to bring up. So taking both of these points and projecting them up. Need to locate the height that they are off the ground. So directly above them, it's not this point, that's the point at the front or the back. It's not this point, that's just at the front. So it's this height up here, which is a height of 60. So up on those lines, I can measure up a height of 60 off the ground. So I measured off the ground, so I'm going to keep measuring off the ground. That's up a height of 60, as is this one here. Now this is a sloping surface, so this corner is going to join to this corner, so one to this one, at the same point, and same for the other one, here to here, giving me an edge looking at this surface here. Final part of this wall is this block part of it, that top part of it up there, where it levels off, where it becomes flat. So we're going to find both of those points and project them up also. Their height is up at the same, so they are also up a height of 60. Now I'm not going to draw in this part of it just yet, as we need to find the other steps before we can see where they disappear. One thing to note is this corner back here goes all the way down to the ground, which means there's going to be hidden detail representing for that part of it. So when we're looking in here, this corner exists, but I can't see it, so I need to take that into account. It's a hidden detail line running the whole way down the back until it touches off the ground. Okay, so going back to looking at the steps, we have the surface A part of the steps. Now let's find this corner inside here, where the second step intersects with the wall. So this is going to be projected up along. I'm going to need to locate the heights, so it's going to go back as far as there, it's going to go up the height of 15. So that's going to extend onto this point. And then there's one more step, the top level. So where does that start and end? So that's also going to be coming from this point. Following this one up along, it's up a height of 45. So it starts here. Where does it stop? It's going to go all the way back up to this corner. That's going as far as here for the moment. And this is the where it intersects with the wall. And that corner, now final corner that needs to go up is this one back here. So this corner is going to go all the way out to there. And we also have an edge that's going to continue up here. And just one more line now needed to finish off this, so that's where this line here is coming down until it touches off the top step, giving me this point here. So that completes this question, the 2019 ordinary level question B3. Looking at orthographic projection, we've located the auxiliary elevation of the structure, which includes the true shape of surface A.